forgive sins, because he happens to be God. So, if the apostles were supposed to forgive anyone's sins, did they think they were little gods? Or some kind of mediator between God and mankind? No, definitely not. Because there's only one God, and there's only one mediator between God and mankind, and that's Jesus. But Jesus sent the apostles out into the world with his authority. He said, "As the Father sent me, I am sending you." And each of those apostles passed on their authority as ministers and leaders appointed by Christ, on to other apostles. For example, one of the first things that the apostles did on their mission in the world was to replace Judas. They picked a guy named Matthias so they could, quote, let another take his place of leadership, end quote. St. Peter said that about Judas. He was quoting Psalm 109. So the gift that Christ gave his church through his apostles was handed down to the next generation of priests, and to every generation after that. In fact, St. Irenaeus in the 2nd century writes about this, right down to the bishops and priests of today. I guess Christ was serious when he said, "I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world." Reconciliation is one of the Church's 7 sacraments. In the Catholic Church, a sacrament is a direct grace hotline that Christ gave to his Church, something that he expected the Church to use, so that Christians could be closer to him. And in these sacraments, Christ gave the apostles his authority, but not his power to read hearts and minds. That's why the apostles' successors, our bishops and priests who assist them, have to hear our confession in order to do what Jesus commanded them to do, forgive anyone's sins, so that those sins are forgiven. And remember how Jesus told the apostles that sometimes they might not forgive sins? The apostles and their successors can't judge whether to forgive or not, unless they know the sins we want forgiveness for. And if the apostles' successors, our bishops and priests who assist them in their ministry, are inspired by the Holy Spirit and have been given the authority of Christ, and I want to be closer to Christ's ministry and presence, well, I've got to ask you, why wouldn't I go to a priest for confession? So come on, it's not time to go to the principal's office. It's time to open Christ's free gift and get closer to him.